I'll go ahead and get started. My name is Dohan Karahan. I'm the founder of Puzzar. Shin and I, the community manager of Limited Supply, was so gracious enough to allow this to happen after weeks of trying to get this to happen. So a little bit about what I do is I help brands, most likely most of yourselves, sell better on platforms like Amazon, Walmart, eBay, Wish, what have you. We focus more on the organic side of things. So we try to lower the money you're spending on ads so that, later on down the line, when you start to see that your ACOS starting to go up, we'll fix it by adjusting your already ready listings. So some clients we've had in the past are Water Drop. We've had activation products. We've got some of the big boys that I signed NDAs on. I can't fully disclose, but these guys, we've helped them out with their ACOS and just getting them to the front page of their specific category. So we can start going down a bit more. The first person I see right down the line is Brian Murphy. Brian, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? I think he left. Damn, I think I scared him off. All right. L-A-I-D-E, Lade. Am I pronouncing that correct? You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, that's correct. Hi, my name is Lide, Wednesday, Friday. Like today, I have an Amazon company. We make compostable tableware for special occasions. So that's it.
Compostable tableware.
Correct.
So like table sheets?
No, like plates, like fancy plates, if you don't want to use typical like plastic or flimsy paper plates, but you don't want to use, you also can't bring out the fine china. You want something that's like a nicer looking compostable party plates for special occasions. That's what we make.
That's awesome. So biodegradable. Is that
Correct.
correct?
That is
That's
correct.
awesome. Awesome. Beautiful. Let's move on. Adam, your turn.
Yo, what's up?
Welcome back.
Yeah, so I run a little store. Only makes about maybe put about like 3K in kind of profit. I've been running a day job, I run like a software company. So just trying to find ways to like really scalably, it's like automate some things, especially as it relates to like inventory management and having to like, it feels always very cash poor where like all this money comes in and I'm like, well, I gotta take all this money and put it back to like buy more inventory, even though the margins are pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, my product is related to like food preservatives. So commodity products, private label it, make it look a little bit kind of fancier. Yeah, that's about it.
Beautiful. So do you source from China or from the States?
Just from the States. So private like a labeler here in the States.
Okay.
Maybe at scale kind of makes sense, but for now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You keep everything local, everything domestic, right? US of A.
Yep.
Love it.
Supplier in Jersey, actually. So
where are you?
I'm in Williamsburg in New York, so two hops probably across from you. But
gotcha.
Yeah.
All the cool people are in Brooklyn, Williamsburg. All the work is here, man, right? No, I get that. No, it's
one day I'll move out there, get some real work done.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Great to meet you. Thanks for being here. Josh, you're next. What's up, Josh?
Oh, hey.
Welcome,
Sorry.
welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. Sorry I didn't have my video on. I didn't realize it's gonna be on video.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I'm a snack food entrepreneur, and we manufacture our own freeze-dried snack food product. Beautiful. And we sell we sell on Shopify, but now we're trying to expand and sell, learning the ins and out of FBA. So we're on FBA and just trying to learn anything new about that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You said freeze-dried foods, is that correct?
Yep. Yeah. So we have a special process where we kind of prepare we do sweet potatoes, do a few strawberries, occasionally bananas, but primarily sweet potatoes. The name of our company is Sweet Potato Awesome. And so it's pretty shelf stable. So it's kind of, good and relatively light. So good for shipping.
That's awesome. I have a question about sweet potatoes and freeze drying. So since potatoes are pretty much, they're not a vegetable or a fruit, they're basically a starch. Do you have to go through FDA regulation when you freeze dry them? No need for preservatives, right? Because you've pretty much just taken all the water out of it. Is that correct?
We do take all the water out of it, but it is when you say starch, I mean first of all, sweet potato is not a potato. It is from the morning glory family, and the potatoes are from the nightshades group of families. And it's particularly important because a lot of people have autoimmune conditions and they can't eat nightshades. And so we have that's kind of like one of our selling points is we have an autoimmune protocol friendly sort of snack. But in terms of FDA, I mean, as soon as you start shipping across state lines, basically you're subject to FDA sort of inspections. We've had 2 FDA inspections. We're still in the place where we haven't met the revenue threshold to be forced to keep records.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to get to that point relatively soon. So that's why we're trying to see if Amazon can kind of take us to the next level. So
it probably will. You know, there's a lot of we're gonna keep moving very quickly, but I will tell you this. There is a ton of CPG brands who are slowly starting to move onto Amazon because they're starting to realize that it's not the fact that retail is just so expensive, but the fact that you're using Amazon as your workhorse, as your mule to get your products from point A to point B. Doritos and Lay's are really starting to lay in, no pun intended, lay in on the amount of volume that they're pushing on Amazon, simply because they're able to keep everything nice and concise and position their products in a way where they can fit like 72 in a box and sell it at wholesale, and it's still profitable, right? We'll talk about strategies for that in a bit. Is that cool?
Cool. Yep.
So perfect. Angelo, you're next. Angelo, we hear you. Say something again. All right, now you're muted. You want to try it again? Okay, let's move on. Brian, Mr. Brian Murphy, where are you at?
All right, second time's a charm. Sorry about the false start. I was in transition after a meeting and didn't have good connection.
Perfect. No issue. Welcome.
So I'm joining in first time as part of Limited Supply, and I'm actively on Amazon. So Josh, I am in the CPG game. I launched the first functional pancake and waffle mix. So we are bringing mushrooms, adaptogens, and superfoods into a shelf-stable, just add water, organic, gluten-free, vegan pancake mix. So approachable for everybody of all types of dietary inclinations. And then we use real doses of the mushrooms and adaptogens that bring benefits like memory, focus, stress support. And then we have another one that's like a morning smoothie in a bag, natural energy, vitality, and immunity. So we launched the products about 1.5 years ago and decided to wait on Amazon as we worked on shelf life. We perfected the formulation. We're on like V3 of the formulation at this point in time, which really feels like, near pretty much final. Mm-hmm. And we kicked on. So we do have an Shopify powered store. We kicked on Amazon in July with one of our products. It was a slow drip for the first couple of months. To back up what you're saying, it was definitely a slow start. But then after come like September, we started to see a lot more looks from Amazon, and we went from selling like 1 to 3 units a day to selling 8 to 10 units a day, and then have been taken off from there. So, and then now all 3 of our products are on the platform, which is exciting. It's been one of our greatest sources of momentum as of late. So I'm definitely feeling like a success story so far, and like there's a lot of work to do as well. At this point in time, I actually am just going through some repositioning. My Amazon advisor I was working with, who launched us, I feel like broke our PPC engine in December with some testing they try to run. Okay. And so I'm in a little bit of a pivot shift in this moment, but the products are doing well. Our brain cakes is our hero product, and it's great. I love it. I love the logistics convenience of Amazon, and for a D2C brand where something you can ship, it's it's a great place to be. So Josh, if you ever want to connect and just on your process as you're launching, I'm definitely happy to be a place to support.
It's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Josh?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll have to somehow get your contact here. I'll throw it in the chat. I'll throw my name.
Throw your LinkedIn's, put everything in the chat. And look, we're all in limited supply here. So for by all means, be sure to connect with one another while we're on the Zoom call, through Slack as well. This place is for the purpose of this call is to help bring the Amazon peeps all together, right? Because Shin and I, we talked about it's just too quiet, right? And what we really want to do is we want people to, get to know each other. Like Moy just posted earlier, we want to be able for everyone to know each other and actually get some value out of out of the Slack channel because it's been way too quiet for too long, and Shin and I decided to do something about it. So there you go.
I love that.
Yeah, beautiful. Let's move on. Adam Lawrence, how you doing, man?
Oh, I was just reacting to your,
Okay.
gotta make it loud again.
No, you're okay. I thought you had your hand up. I'm sorry, I couldn't see that well. Awesome, Alexander. You got 3 seconds. No problem. Anubhav, your turn. What's up, man? You want to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone,
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing fabulous, man. Thanks for joining. Who
No
are you?
problem. Sorry?
Who are you? Welcome.
Oh, so I work for this brand, Shopify app called Predico. So we help brands with inventory management. Just learning from the community. So yeah, I really don't have any much to contribute to this topic. Yeah,
Welcome. Tell us about Predico. What do you do?
I right now I'm helping them. I'm acting as a growth consultant. So I'm helping them with SEO and ASO because that's my strength. So yeah, that's my yeah.
Awesome. Welcome, brother. It's great to have you. David Baker, my friend. Nice snazzy little picture. You want to speak a bit?
My name is David. I lead DTC and Amazon for a skincare brand called Beacon 1802. We're omni-channel.
Welcome. Oh, I know.
Thank
Beacon.
you.
Oh my goodness. Did you guys work with Fortress brand?
We did work with Fortress. We are now on Amazon 3P, but in the premium beauty space. So we've kicked out the resellers, which is a really nice little narrow place to be, but it does cost us a pretty penny.
It does. It does, man. No, so I actually applied for Fortress brand back in 2019. I met with Matt and Mark before, and just watching their website as time went on, I saw Beekman 1802 there, and I go, that's a really cool brand. So as soon as you said it, I'm like, wait, that's someone I want to be friends with. So it's great to have you.
Awesome.
It's awesome to have you.
Glad to be here. We're no longer with Fortress. I will say that. So
it's fine. Don't worry. It's in my favor for you guys not to be together. Awesome. It's great to have you. Let's move on. Katie K.
Hi, I'm Katie. I been managing Amazon brands in-house for a few brands, and now I'm doing some consulting. I'm helping out a few brands get launched on the platform right now. So yeah, I just love learning and sharing and helping out each other. So yeah.
Awesome. This is perfect. I think we have a couple. Chance, you got to introduce yourself. All right, everyone, first and foremost, Chance is an absolute legend. He came out with a very unique product, and we met some time ago with his partner, Xander. So, Chance, go ahead. Please share us what you're all about.
Xander should be hopping on here in a few minutes, but we just launched a product in the men's health space. We're selling a rapid at-home sperm test kit, and we're selling it right now just completely on our website. We just launched last week, but we think Amazon is going to be the place with the high intention buyers, people actually looking for something like this. So we're trying to get on there as quickly as we can.
Awesome, as discussed, man. And you guys finally they've finally been approved for brand registry. You guys still waiting on that?
Yeah, we're still waiting. We got our trademark, serial number going, but we're waiting on the approval for the brand registry.
Awesome. Beautiful. It's great to have you, Chance. Well, we can't wait for Xander to come back. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Mo.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
What's up, brother? Great to have you.
Figure out how to open up camera on incognito. But yeah, I'm just gonna silently talk, but pleasure to be here. I run my own small little Amazon brand, probably a very small fish in the sea. I sell banana bread, so kind of in the CPG space. Using Amazon as kind of a test run to really establish some brand presence and try to see if even the product is good or not. And then ideally want to scale, launch more flavors, and eventually go DTC as well.
Awesome. So Mo, real quick, selling banana bread, is this something, so the expiration dates on these, are you running into any issues selling these on Amazon, or is Amazon saying you have to show your expiration dates or any sort of safety data sheets, or are you just listing and selling FBM, fulfillment by merchant?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we're doing FBM right now, and we're baking it to order. So anytime an order comes in, there's typically 2 to 3 day SLA on there. But eventually the goal is to have something more shelf stable where we can kind of fulfill through Prime, but I'm not seeing that volume at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end goal.
That's perfect. So you're just using Amazon as like a need basis, right? When it's just listed, when an order comes in, that's when you just quite literally make it and then send it out, right?
Exactly.
One more question. So do you, how does your shipping look like? Are you shipping, because it's got to get there within a specific period of time, or are you eating the majority of the shipping costs through the packaging?
Yeah, so where the shipping's included, so like I'll drop a link of the listing, but we're selling like a
Yeah.
6-pack for $37.99. Shipping's free. Like I'm not really profitable right now, but it's just a matter of really establishing that customer base. But what we are seeing a lot of is that there's a huge amount of repeat purchases that we're getting.
Perfect.
And then the goal is eventually to transition them onto Shopify and have them kind of subscribe into our website. So that way that can kind of at least help out with some of the profitability issues in the short term. And in the long run, you know, the more the customers purchase, and we're also including some more variations that are a little bit more profitable. So does that answer your question? I'll kind of give you a very long-winded answer.
That's perfect, man. You mentioned repeat customers too, and we'll talk about that in a second too, because that's something that I really want to touch on here, to be honest with you. So Mo, it's great to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two more actually. Shadab, Aziz, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey guys, Shadab with the brand called Gen X Global. We do paintball accessories. So we are not that big on Shopify. We're kind of late to the game. We've been around for about 20 years, mostly through retail network and selling direct to paintball fields. And so now we're jumping more to the e-commerce space. We have our own Shopify site, but we're looking to kind of crank up the volume with Amazon with some more of our SKUs and some kits and things like that. So just here to learn.
Continue. So sorry.
No, that's it. I'm dead. I'm good.
Awesome. What kind of kits did you say you sold again?
Paintball kits. So like starting paintball kits. So
paintball.
Yeah, paintball.
Sick, man. Awesome. So so let me ask you, in that category, you're selling on Shop. You mentioned you're looking to expand on Amazon. Is Amazon giving you any issues regarding the type of product that you're selling now? Because weapons is a big category that people have been struggling with. I'll give you an example right off the bat. There are people who are an old boss of mine years ago. I posted about him on LinkedIn yesterday, actually. He used to sell like water guns, right? And so he wasn't able to use the word gun, or like he wasn't able to use that word gun. And since it was similar to like an actual weapon, they would restrict his listing constantly. So what he had to do is he had to change the word water gun to water splasher. And if you look on Amazon, there are similar terms to that. Are you facing any problems like that? Do you have to go through any sort of regulations or any sort of do you need to jump through hoops to sell on Amazon? Have you faced anything like that? Or are you just looking to get on Amazon now?
Yeah, we have not had any issues with that so far. Paintball, the word itself isn't something that's banned or restricted. And we don't sell the actual paintball guns themselves. So we're kind of on the accessory space. So we're okay for now.
That's awesome. So you pretty much call them, instead of paintball like balls, you call them pellets. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we don't do that either. We don't sell the paintballs themselves. Although that's one of our ideas is to do something around that. So we'll see when we get there. But so far, what we do is like the paintball mask. We'll do the paintball pods, which actually transfer from your waist and replenish the hopper with the paintballs themselves.
That's sick, man. You're an awesome guy. You're borderline on military and tactical equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something I looked into for a while too. The wholesale game for that here is, especially on Amazon, the military and tactical equipment game. It's wild, man. Absolutely wild. You go ahead.
No, 100%. And one of the interesting things about us is that we actually are a manufacturer ourselves. So we have injection molding machines and assembly people in the back actually putting the products together.
So you're also selling wholesale.
100%.
Perfect, man. Yeah, you're gonna love Amazon. You're gonna kill the competition. Beautiful. We have one more person, I believe, who didn't get to speak yet. Last name Azam. I'm so sorry, I don't want to butcher your name. We spoke earlier. Do you want to introduce yourself? Willabelle?
Yeah, hi. I have a baby brand called Ulabelle. I have been selling on Amazon since 2018. I am launching a few new products and basically just want to get in on some like best practices
Awesome.
for like listing optimization and PPC.
Awesome. Awesome. It's great to have you. How do I pronounce your name?
Juana.
Juana. It's awesome. Great to have you. Wonderful. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the way that this meeting is going to work, the way this cohort is going to work is, look, I'll go ahead and share my screen right away. I plan only 2 things here, and the way that I really want this to work is do just intros and then roast and Q&A. So there's 2 things we can do here. What I'd like for us to do is either in the chat or go ahead and raise your hand if you either have a question, or if you want to have someone like me or Katie, who also provides these same services, go through your listing very quickly and right off the bat, just take some notes and showcase this is what I would suggest would improve, what Katie would suggest improve, or if anyone else has any sort of questions, comments, concerns, or any of the other improvements, that's how we can proceed. So without further ado, who would like to start? Who wants to get roasted? No one?
My banana bread listing on the chat if you want to tear that one apart. Go for it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Awesome. So let's go ahead and share this. Okay. Gorgeous. Okay. So let's go. Everyone go ahead and take a look. Dude, these look amazing. And I'm dieting right now, so you're not helping me at all. No. This is perfect. So tell me about the listing. Tell me about some things you've done, some things you've tried to do that you believe have helped the sales, helped with, improving the listing. Talk to me about listing. What you got?
Yeah, so probably the first thing is definitely the images, right? Banana bread, not a lot of people are buying that on Amazon. So it's definitely a new type of product that we're launching. So one of the things that we wanted to tinker with is obviously having really high quality graphics, because if you look at the competitive landscape, most people who are kind of selling in the similar fashion that we are have very shitty, outdated pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to kind of come into the market with some high quality graphics. So we've definitely invested into that part. And then the second thing that we really tested is just having some good titles and bullet points. We A/B tested the title. And we noticed that having gourmet in the front versus the brand name led to a higher conversion rate, which was interesting because I thought the brand name, which is Sweet and Central, would do better. And then, yeah, we implemented a brand story, A+ page, in the process of also building out an A+ premium to see if that kind of further elevates the conversion rate. But yeah, that's TLDR version.
Awesome. Perfect. Talk to me about your campaigns. I see that you're sponsored for this. Talk to me about this. Are you running auto campaigns? Are you running
yeah, we're doing 2. So right now we're running a sponsored product auto and a sponsored product manual campaign. And then also tinkered around with some sponsored video, but I just never really had the time to go all in on it. So sponsored product, the whole approach there is just to collect keyword data, see what's working, see what's not working. And then the sponsored manual is more for like those direct keywords that we know that is going to do the best in performance. So we're just kind of doubling down on that with lower bids and just getting aggressive. But yeah, those are the only 2 campaigns that we're running, right? We obviously want to take over the market share for anything banana bread related.
Yeah.
But we've been selling for a few months now, and it looks like, that specific niche is a little too niche. So the goal is to kind of, expand the product line and launch different products.
Okay, great. So you talked about expanding the product line, and you can see that through chocolate chip banana and chocolate chip, pumpkin spice, and vegan. Perfect. So if I go through your products here, I'm only going to come up with these 2 listings. So your cookies, this one's not doing so well. You'd rather just focus on this. Is that correct?
Yeah, cookies, I just need to take the time out to take some higher quality pics. I just got lazy and used some stock images for the main image there. But the cookies, there's definitely a lot more potential in the cookies just because there's a lot more sellers on there. But the issue with the cookies is that you just have to have like a nice premium enough of a product packaging. I've just been lazy to try to come up with the capital to get that made.
That's perfectly fine. And you know what? I will say right off the bat, there are websites you can use to try and design one yourself. Like first and foremost, like I'm terrible at product design. So what I'll do is Packlane is one of the best companies out there that can help out with these sorts of things, either being pouches or in mailer boxes, however you want to do this. These are some things you can take into consideration. Like I used to use Adobe Express as well. This is a big one. I mean, I'm not a graphic designer, but sometimes I play around. I just got an iPad Pro and it's 12 inches, so I thought might as well just use that to draw some things. Let me ask you then, regarding expansion. Now, obviously, when this starts to grow a bit more, you want to either when you start getting let me ask you this: when you get 100 orders a day, what's your plan?
Yeah, we're fucked, but it's a good problem to have. Because right now we're averaging around 3 to 5 orders a day, maybe sometimes 10 if it's if there's like a good sale that we're running or anything of that sort. But as far as 100, frankly speaking, I don't know. But it's going to be a good problem to try to figure out how to solve.
No, and you know what? To be honest with you, the way I see it now, and look, this is just from an outside perspective. I want Katie to hop in on this as well because I'm sure she's got some insight. The beauty of using Amazon for a CPG brand is the fact that we can make the options are limitless. Guys like Josh or Brian, they can definitely weigh in on this for the manufacturing side of things regarding, how a listing could or how you can build out a product to be sold completely in bulk. And one of the first ways is, instead of baking the order, why don't you make the mix? And now here's why I'm saying that. Here's a company that we spoke to the other day, and this company here, they're brand new, they're just getting into Amazon, and what they're selling is quite literally the same thing: muffins, right? These are bake mix. And the problem that this company has here is two things. One, they're focused on either being a superfood or they're focused on being a bake mix. So they're stuck in between two categories. In your case, when I search the word banana bread, immediately I'm hit with 1,000 results, and you're also competing with companies like Belvita, right? We're also diving into the how do I put it, into the banana bread category here. So, I mean, I can't speak through your manufacturing now, but what I would suggest later on down the line, even though you're doing quite well right now, is putting it in a bag, putting it in, or Adam has also mentioned, add a sign in the image of, here we go. So it doesn't look like a stock image. There you go. There's some advice. One thing that I would recommend regarding the manufacturing process, and I want to talk to you about that. What do you have in mind for growth? Do you plan on getting this into your retail stores? Do you plan on just using Amazon as just extra income? What do you have in mind?
Yeah, man, you're asking some good questions. Scaling, right? Ideally, you want to get this to the point where we're doing at least, 20 units a day. And then the goal is to essentially bring those customers away from Amazon onto our Shopify. Right? Amazon, although great, I use Amazon to kind of test out the MVP to see how that's doing. And then we have a website, which we just kind of went live with recently. It's not perfect, but it's enough to at least make a sale, right? Like we've gotten a couple sales off of that. And then ideally, because some of the traction that we're seeing within Amazon is we've got customers that are purchasing over 9 times a month our banana breads. So the goal is to basically take them away from Amazon, bring them onto our Shopify where they can sign up for our subscription model. So if you click on the actual Shop Now page, you can see that we offer certain percentage discounts, depending on the frequency that you sign up for. So the goal is to kind of just keep scaling this, because what's good about this is now we've got kind of an estimate, or we also have a guarantee of how many orders we're going to be getting for whatever set timeline.
Yeah.
So right now it's just incremental, small growth. Just try to, expand month over month, and then try to figure out kind of where to go from there. But to your point, having those mixes is going to be great to have. It just hasn't really caught my interest as of yet at the moment, but that is something that I have kind of looked into in the past.
That's perfect. And I want to talk to you about that later on. Katie, would you like to weigh in?
Yeah, so it's funny. I had kind of similar questions, just as far as, your product looks great. You clearly have great reviews. You've built up a good number of reviews, I think, for based on the quantity that you're selling. Your website looks amazing. And, so you have some really great content. But yeah, I mean, it seems like to start to grow this and, then be able to invest even more in, testing out more ads, or, really trying to make the business profitable. How do you increase your capacity so that you can sell the units to make up for that, or at least to a point where maybe you can be shipping FBA to really start to compete with some of these other banana bread listings that have that. Because I think this is great because it's clearly homemade, made to order, but it's hard because you are competing with other products that are going to get there faster and kind of burying you in the search results that way. So yeah, if you have thought about being able to make the product more shelf stable or any sort of like or maybe baking it at different locations so that you're able to ship it a little faster. But yeah, just thinking about scale seems like definitely a good next step.
Absolutely. Mr. John, would you like to weigh in on this too, Mr. CPG?
Well, I would just say that it is that was one of the reasons that we did go the freeze dry route is shelf stability. There's a lot of other challenges to that, but so I quite honestly, I'm not super familiar with how like shelf stable like banana bread is, but I think that will be I would say this, like from my experience doing FBA, even when I use partnered carriers to ship a pallet, it still takes a while. And so if you got a product that has I'm guessing maybe like what's your shelf life? Maybe 2 months or something like that, or 6 weeks. I mean, my guess would you have an expiration for your banana bread?
Well,
yeah. So I mean, since we're baking them pretty much like at order, like the shelf life is around 2 weeks, and it takes anywhere between 2 to 3 days for us to, for the client or customer to receive the product. But yeah, one of the things that's kind of on my to-do list is actually get like a proper certification done and get the actual shelf life and all that paperwork established. Right now, we're doing it in a very small scale model. So yeah, there's a lot of things to do, a lot of learnings to come.
So yeah, I mean, you could even, I mean, what I would do is just you don't have to get something like super official. I mean, I would just say, I mean, eventually you want to kind of get lab testing for shelf life, but even now I just try to set some of your product aside and then just just do your own sort of like lab analysis and just you know what it's supposed to smell like, it's how it's supposed to taste, and then just see what it's like after 2 weeks and after 3 weeks. And that should be, that's one thing that it's tough to do because you're so busy with production. And I'm still not really great about it, but I try to set, pouches aside with the date on it, with the lot number, and then just to have them there for sort of analysis. But I was going to say FBA is just like, because it takes, unless somebody else has cracked this, it's, and I just had a pallet picked up yesterday. It's like the last pallet I shipped was on February 6th, and I don't think it was accepted by Amazon until like February 21st or 23rd. And it's a long time. And so and I only shipped it from Las Vegas to all the way to Arizona. So, like 5-6 hours, but it's just like the logistics. I haven't quite figured it out. I've been starting to use a new software that's been really helpful, which is 2D workflow. I don't know if anybody else has used that, but it makes the pallet preparation like super efficient.
Perfect. Yeah. Some guys. Yeah. I remember using this.
Yeah, 2D workflow. I highly recommend people looking into it. It's like $97 a month. It's very helpful because trying to put together a pallet on Amazon just through the Seller Central website is an utter nightmare. It's just like anxiety ridden. Yeah, it's just awful. Yeah. So that's my one comment there, is that you really have to be concerned about shelf life, because in my experience, and I've shipped like, let's see, 4 pallets. I've done 4 pallets for FBA so far. And I just know that it just only on one occasion did they get to the location like within a few days. So
yeah,
cool. No, I appreciate the insights.
I can jump in and chime in. Both of these are very relevant for me in my business. I mean, like you showed up Superfly. We are a functional superfood pancake and waffle mix as well. Shelf life is the first thing that came up for me when I was listening here. And I echo, like, I've had very similar challenges with sending pallets on the LTL side. Small parcel for FPA actually moves a lot more quickly. So if you're sending just a couple units at a time, it can actually move in like maybe 7 to 10 days before it's available, but still with a 2-week shelf life, that's really a challenge. And then I will echo too that if you go to a third-party lab, for them to do a shelf life, all they're going to do is what Josh described. They're going to ask you for one version of your product for each of the weeks or months that you want to certify shelf life. And all they do is open it and test it. And there's no other science to it. Then they charge you a lot of money for it. So you can save yourself the cost. I did this too along the formulation process where I set aside 12 bags. I pulled 1 bag open a month, and because my target shelf life was 12 months. And at some point in time, you like cook it, you taste it, and then you say, okay, it didn't pass. And that's where you cut it, or the month before. So you save yourself a lot of the headache, and definitely you can get that done and feel good that the best by date is, is reasonable. But yeah, I'll echo it. I mean, having a made to order product, the load times, if you're going to look to go to FBA, sounds like a big challenge for me. Because one thing I went to was thinking, like, why don't you, when you say you've got customers going, order, some of them ordering, up to 9 times a month, like to dollar cost average the fees to sell like a 3-pack or a 6-pack, at once, then you're taking a lot more margin in house because those fees level off pretty quickly. I saw that in my product. I have a single bag, and we'll pull my listing up here in a minute.
Sure.
I have a single bag for each of my 3 products, and then I sell the 3-pack. And my margins change dramatically just by selling the 3-pack. And then we run our PPC to the 3-packs. Sometimes we sell the 1-packs as a result. But you can find a way to live and thrive with paid in working with bulk. But that's something you've got to look at, is like, without, if you don't want to load with preservatives, how are you going to max that? Get a little more time out of your shelf life.
Perfect.
Yeah, Brian, just out of curiosity, are you profitable with your single packs at all or not? If you don't mind me asking.
My 2 heroes, so that my superfood pancake mixes that retail for $20, yes. My my 3rd product is more of a mass market organic, what I like to call poison-free pancake. We sell it for $9.99, which certainly when I was running any paid to it, we were losing money. I'm making a very, very razor thin margin at that price because Amazon's fees actually are much lower when you're under the $10 threshold. So I mean, I'm making a very slim margin on that. I'd say sub 15%, but then my margins for the 2 functional SKUs on the single bags are in like the 20 to 25% range. And then my margins on the 3-packs are decently higher.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Perfect. And I just put in this tool here. If anyone who doesn't know, this is something called the revenue calculator. And what this does is it basically showcases, if you want to, for example, we'll do a test example now. If I was to define a product 1071 or 1071 and call it 1 pound, say that it's being sold for $29.99 with a 0 shipping charge, health and household, or grocery and gourmet, and the FBA fees change based on the category. And here you can put in your miscellaneous or cost of goods sold. Say we're selling for $10. This is how you can see just an average idea of what you're looking at, Mo. So awesome conversation. To be honest, Mo, what you could do as well is, take advantage of a calculator like this when the time comes to start using actual bake mixes, and you want to get into creating, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 of these packages, and you're able to sell them off at a specific price point. Look, as I pointed this out here, high shelf life plus high volume equals low cost, whereas a low shelf life and low volume, this is going to be a high cost, which is pretty much what you're facing now, and that's why you're selling in packs of 6. Is that correct? It's not just the box.
Yeah, exactly. We're just doing 6 packs at the point.
Absolutely. And look, being able to calculate, how long your shelf life is, say if you can get it to 3 months or even 6 months, and checking out the fees here, this is one of the best tools you have to see how much you can fit into into a pack, the same way that Pancakes is doing it. Brian, am I on point? Is this am I saying this correctly?
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. And then it becomes a decision as the entrepreneur. Like for us, we our ingredients play well in the bag. It's a shelf stable, everything's organic certified. Yeah. And so once you have something that's baked and you have moisture and oxygen, you got to think about the preservatives game and what's more important to you, and how do you balance that dance of shelf life and not having some chemical terrible product, ingredients in your product. I'm very passionate about food sanctity, and like I said before, poison-free pancakes. So we've kind of long journey on excluding all like artificial ingredients and fillers and preservatives. So but it's a mix, and we're not baking it, so we have that benefit of it sitting on the shelf for a longer time.
Fabulous, fabulous, awesome. Now this has been perfect. I want to shift the conversation towards more of the supplements and skincare game. I want to push it over to David for a second. David, do you mind if I open up a listing?
Go for it.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna write Beekman 1802. Is that cool? Actually, let me go back here. Awesome. And what I want to do is try to bridge the gap between what we're doing on CPG versus the supplement and skincare. So, David, what I'd like to ask you, what have you seen, and what sort of advice would you provide to the gentlemen and the ladies and gentlemen here in the chat who are also trying to get into supplements or into skincare? Because obviously these don't have such quick expiration dates as these do. What are some things you've noticed specifically on Amazon? Is it more of like an SEO problem for you, or is it more so manufacturing? What sort of SDS problems, which means safety data sheets to anyone who doesn't know, are you facing when it comes to Amazon?
Yeah, facing too many safety data sheet issues, largely because we are omnichannel already, so we're sold at Ulta, so we already have all of those pieces sort of locked in. For us, it really is about competitive landscape.
Okay.
Beauty, especially on Amazon, is a extremely competitive space.
Yeah.
So if you take this product here, which is one of our top 3 products in skincare, it's a facial toner. And it is, when you look at the toner category, there are a wide range at various price points. So if someone is looking for a facial toner, you're going to see Thayer's as sort of that number 1. It's a $9 price point. It's a very different side of the category than we are in prestige. And so I think part of it is trying to identify that consumer that is more in our price range. And there's a whole side of the beauty industry that's in that space. As well as I think for us, really, it's been about how do we, especially as we're getting onto Amazon, accelerate reviews, accelerate the flywheel. So for this, if you notice, we have 2 size versions here. The smaller one at $19 is our 2-ounce travel version. We had to unvariate these pages so that we could get this one in divine reviews in order to get the ratings, because otherwise it's showing 0 stars, no ratings, even on the same page. And we had 1 sale a month on it. Since we made that change, we're flying with this product because it has a 4.7 50 ratings.
Yeah, I can see. And so this one is this 2-ounce here, because here's the thing: people who are buying the how many ounces was this? The 8 ounce versus the 2 ounces. Immediately you're going to see, and guys in the CPG area, what we're actually looking at here is what customers are comfortable purchasing. Right. For example, at 2 ounces, you can put this on planes. This is easier, and also it's cheaper. Right. So what we're actually looking at here is how do we compete with people who like Witch Hazel, who are obviously dominating the sector here? How do we compete with them, and how do we target customers who are looking for something a little bit more, luxurious, a little bit better than what Witch Hazel can offer? Is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. What have you done so far to combat that? And what programs have you been using, if any? Is there any sort of, let me turn this light on real quick. Excuse me. What sort of programs have you been using? What has been the strategy? Something that you feel has been working or has been working? And there's 3 things that I put on the left here, on the right side here, that I wanted to go over with you and just see where we can hash these out.
Yeah, I think for us, it has been because pricing is not an option for us on Amazon. We don't play pricing games because we have laser line pricing across all of us. So we can do discounts, etc., but we don't change the core price. So for us, this one is one where we're willing to try to accelerate that highly by doing couponing or key pricing, key promotions to try and drive that flywheel effect. I think as well, we're doing a fair number of pieces as it relates to paid ads. So specifically in search, both non-brand and brand, as well as a little bit of DSP to help drive that. Although most of that has been on the demand capture side, not on the demand generation side.
Understood. So there's what percentage would you say? Would you say it's 50-50 paid and then 50 paid and then 50 organic, or is it more like an 80-20 situation? What are we looking at?
So paid is definitely a big flywheel for us. I want to say it's about 40-60 paid, 40 in terms of our customer growth there.
Understood. Is that ACOS, or is it just like where it's hovering at right now? What the budget is?
That's about where it's hovering right now. I don't think it's definitely not ACOS.
Got you. That's good. Yeah, 40% ACOS is wild.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Got you. Okay. So first things first, people who are searching Beekman 1802, they're obviously coming here. Okay. What we're looking at here is a very healthy search query. Look, Beekman 1802, you don't have anyone who's actually competing with you. Look, Beekman 8 all the way down. So you're already locked down. So the real goal is, how do we take care of our competition? Is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. So one of the things that, and I think Katie can also weigh in on this too, but allow me to give you an idea of how I structure things. So give me 3 keywords that you'd find in Beekman 1802, like face serum or facial toner.
Yeah. So facial toner, goat milk soap, and face moisturizer, facial moisturizer.
Okay, facial moisturizer. And you said coconut soap? I'm sorry, did I hear that?
No, goat milk soap.
Goat milk. Oh, perfect.
Goat milk is our powerhouse ingredient behind the brand.
Any SDS on this? No, right?
No, we're covered there. We have to upload them, but like,
Gotcha.
It's a non-issue.
Gotcha. So let's go ahead and open up 2 more tabs, and we'll talk about Amazon. So first thing we said was facial toner, and then we said face. In fact, we're going to do 4 tabs here. Moisturizer, and then face moisturizer, and then we're going to do goat milk soap. And so would you say that these are the top 3 or 4 categories that you're trying to dominate? Is that correct?
Definitely, I think the areas in which we have the right to win. Facial toner, we don't have the right to win, but we have the right to rank very high. Moisturizers, we have the right to win, and goat milk soap, we should be dominating there entirely. We are the largest goat milk soap brand.
Understood. And so we're being, do you see, we don't see our Beekman 1802 here, do we?
No.
All right, no, which is, here we go, right down here. Awesome. Okay, so we're competing with these guys who are selling. Understood. Okay, and we're doing this. Okay, great. So we did facial face moisturizer and then 941. So you're absolutely right. You guys should have been killing this. Let me do facial, and then I'm going to show you why the method to this madness here. 30K and then 20K. So first things first. When we look at terms that are, let me put it this way. Think of a pizza. Okay, I'm gonna draw. You guys can see this on the far right, correct?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So let's draw this. So let's call this a market. Okay. And let's talk about the facial toner and then the goat milk soap. Now, in this market here, we have something called the bestseller ranking. And the bestseller ranking is divided into a billion pieces. Okay, I'll go on and on like this. Now, when we're selling in a category that, in fact, when we're selling in a category that has less than 1,000 results, let's call it like this. Let's say that there's 4. But when we're selling in a category where there's much more than that, it's going to divide like this. So what our main goal here is to take up either just chunks of these depending on the category. And the problem we have here is sometimes we're not able to control our own manufacturing rate. Sometimes we're not able to control how much our pricing is. That's something for corporate. That's something for way up there. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So when we're looking at categories that have quite a lot, to be honest with you, a ton of competition. These are 20,000 results equals to listings. What we really want to do is we don't want to use the words face moisturizer or facial moisturizer. We want to choose the words that have the least amount. Goat milk soap is one of these. So what we'll do is we'll dive into this. So when we talk about goat milk soap, right now we're low at the bottom and we want to get this up as high up as we possibly can. We have to look at the competition. So talk to me about this listing here. Is it being sold as just a 1-pack, 2-pack? on
So
different.
this is a 1 pack of our 9-ounce bar soap, and then we also have 3.5-ounce bar soaps that are sold in 3 packs.
Got you.
So this bad boy is massive, and our artwork doesn't show that. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one of the first things we'll talk about too. It's the images. Katie, you want to weigh in?
Yeah, no, I totally agree on sort of going for those search terms that aren't, you know, the very top in the category. I like to look at the brand analytics top search terms and see, you know, what are the rankings for some of these you know, slightly longer tail, not totally long, but you know, less frequent short tail terms. And I like to target search frequency rankings that are in, say, I don't know, like the 10,000s to 30,000s. I feel like it's sometimes a good place to start, where, you know, it's not so competitive. You're going to get crushed and have insane CPCs. But, you know, if you have a high quality product, if you have great content and a decent ad strategy, you'll really be able to stand out.
Absolutely. And what I will add on to that too, thank you, Katie. What I will add onto that as well is if we look at competition here, the competition, what they're actually advertising to sellers, or excuse me, to customers, is a ton of it. 3 packs, 4 packs, 1, 2, a ton of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with Beekman, all we're seeing is 1. Now, it's totally fine that we're selling 1, but what we want to do is we want to capture that attention of the customer as quickly as we possibly can. So if people are searching goat milk soap and we're on the first page, immediately, even if someone's not interested in buying a product, they're going to look at the product and they say, okay, if this is what is showing now, what else am I going to see in other listings? And so they'll go through this is just basic psychology here. They'll go through the listing here and they'll see the variations. And based on that, they'll go back and they'll start to do more research, right? Either that, and David, you know this better than I do. Either they'll do it through actual brand names. They'll do it based on pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what's actually being offered. And in our case, for Beekman, if I can pull that up really quick, where'd you go? Let me just search it. Beekman 1802. Here we go. We got these. This is a gift pack here. Let's go for this one. For example, just look at this listing. Immediately, right off the bat, we know that it's only being sold one pack for $16. Now, here's the thing. Katie can definitely back me up on this. It might be a better idea to showcase a hero listing of all the products that are available, right? Showcasing blocks, showcasing products where it's not just one scent of it, because look, this is just the
pure, the unscented.
Perfect, just the unscented one. But we have scented ones here where it's the orange blossom or the honey grapefruit. Imagine doing, I'll draw this out because I'm a visual person. Imagine drawing it out this way, where you have one block of variant A. Okay, I'm not an artist. Don't get mad at me. And then blocks all over the place. And then you're showcasing different variants that are available to your customers. So it's not just one box, or it's not just one bar of soap. You're showcasing all the variants in your hero listing, right? In your parent listing. Now, how is that done? So you already have, and you mentioned these are massive. I agree with you. 9 ounces is a ton. What you could do is also add in a single listing here that has, you know, maybe 3 or 4 of them as like a variety set, right? So for example, you have all these together. Say, for example, we're doing a hero listing of 5. If you were to do 5 different blocks and showcase that as the first image, that's somehow mimicking what your competition is doing as well, showcasing not just 1, but 2, 3, 4, even 5 listings. That might actually showcase more to the customer in that split second. Because look, we have 2 enemies at the moment. They're not really enemies. They're paying our bills. The first one is the customer, and the second one's the algorithm, right? Algorithm's easy. That's what I'm doing now. We're going to talk about this in a second. But what Katie's actually weighing in on, and gentlemen like Josh or Brian can also talk about, and Chance too, what we're actually talking about here is what can we showcase to the customer immediately, right? Immediately, what can we show? So if we were to go into Katie, you want to take over while I look at the keywords?
So can I just ask a clarifying question there? Just because you're saying if I could build a 5-pack variety pack as a different ASIN and a different listing,
correct?
Or you're saying hijack the single listings with an abundance artwork?
Beautiful. And the only reason why is because, like you said, you should be dominating this, right? And Beekman 1802, with the reputation that they have, I've seen Beekman 1802 all over the place. And that's why I'm happy you're here. You know, what the goal of this is to showcase, okay, well, if we have Australian botanical soap all the way from the other side of the world here being sold here in the States, why isn't Beekman 1802 taking advantage of this? For example, what we can do is, let's say that goat milk soap is too expensive and we don't want to do it. Katie, I'm going to give it to you in a second. Australian goat milk, for example, it's going to lead to goat milk powder. That's also one search term. Or we'll just do goat milk soap. And then we're starting to deal with 105 results. So the goal here is, if this area here is too crowded, right? There's too much noise here. Focus on the smaller ones, the smaller fish, right? Because the effort that it's going to take to dominate this one is less, is what I'm saying. And
totally get that. But so you're basically saying hijack the search results by having a variety pack that can compete in that space. But we're going to get that listing based off of sales velocity. So it's not creating a dummy product, it's creating a brand new ASIN and a brand new assortment.
Correct. And that's strictly for the end customer, because look, even in Australian goat milk soap with 105 results, what we're doing here, we're still seeing more variants. And you can do this very simply by adding in that extra ASIN, by that extra variation. And you can price it however you want. Don't even make it FBM. Don't even make it FBA. You don't have to. Just use that as the main listing, as your parent listing for people to see immediately.
Okay.
Katie?
Yeah, just curious. So for the organic listing, because you don't necessarily get to choose which variation. So are you suggesting like create a new parent? Sorry, you aren't necessarily getting to choose which variant is shown as the key one when in the search results. You could have that as a separate listing, just to sort of take up more real estate in the search, or you can have it as part of your parent, and if it's popular and it ends up getting more sales, then it will surface organically. And another thing you can do is actually, if you wanted to test out different variations, just to see, does a 3-pack resonate or a 4-pack, or which scent combinations, you can actually create a virtual bundle.
Only if it's a
that's another,
even if it's sorry, what we've encountered with virtual bundles, okay, is that we cannot do it if it's the same multiples of the same product.
Correct. Yeah, it would have to be a scent variety.
Yeah.
But that could be a way to test, just do customers even want to purchase?
Yeah. And we've done scent varieties, but more for holiday gifting. So that's fair as an always on virtual to drive that. Okay.
And then another thing you can do in separate from creating a variety pack, if you still want to be able to showcase your different scents in that sort of hero image, is you can actually put some kind of indication in your main image that you have other scents available, whether it's like little icons or dots or something. And it's, not necessarily 100% kosher, but you can usually like figure out a way to get through the Amazon filters. But yeah, whether maybe it's like, I've done this with color variations of a product where you have, your blue color, but then at the bottom you show a blue dot, a purple dot, a green dot, just indicating that there are other options available.
Katie's on point. Absolutely. Word for word. I agree. And Katie, what would you say about utilizing PPC for that extra variation? For example, why am I bringing that up? Very sorry. Is because if we're already competing for that search term, and people are looking for just goat milk soap, we can at least target to that specific ASIN in a parent listing. Like you said, sometimes Amazon, we have no jurisdiction or disclosure on which listing is going to show up first organically. But on the PPC side of things, when you have that ASIN through a campaign, that's when the magic really happens. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, you definitely have way more flexibility in like which variations are showing up when you're running ads. And, there are different strategies as far as you do you combine different variations into a single ad set, or are you creating separate ad sets or campaigns for each variation? And sometimes it's good to create those separate campaigns or ad sets for each variation, so that or for the ones that you specifically want to target, so you make sure you're showing a variety in your results.
Spot on.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Very helpful. Thank you.
Absolutely. David, how do you feel?
Cool. And it's great.
Okay.
Sorry, just in those sponsored brand ads at the top, those are also like a great place to showcase the variety, and you can show 3 products in those ads, so that's a good place too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what I will add is, this is, guys, look, everyone in the chat, what we're looking at here is something that is applicable for every single category, depending on what you have, depending on a wide variety of factors. These are strategies that you can implement for your listings, either be through the organic side, or through the organic keyword side, or through the paid keyword side, or even the visual side of things. These are all strategies, because at the end of the day, we're trying to convince the customer in the shortest amount of time that we are the best offer, right? This is the actual goal here. How do we do that using Amazon's algorithm? Because if we're looking at retail, you're looking at shelf space, you're looking at things, and that's something I can't speak on. Mine's more on the marketplace side of things, but this is where you get to play around. Now, any questions, any comments, concerns, anyone? Josh, Chance, Brian, Mo, Katie, what do you guys think? David, how do you feel?
I feel good.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay. We said that, oh, Mo left, that's why. Brian, you ready for a roast?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. And so, David, what I'd like to do when the topic of SEO or keywords comes up, I have this Excel sheet here, and I want to walk this through just to share with everyone else to see, how we can even use Cerebro, how we can utilize this program to not just optimize our listings, but also get an idea of what our competition's getting as well. Is that cool?
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to drop somewhat soon, so just FYI, if I'm not here, feel free to take everyone else through it too.
Awesome. Well, no problem. We'll do it then. Sounds good. Now, Brian, the same listing, correct?
Yeah, we can roll with pancakes. That's our hero. So let's go there.
Let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and close these real quick. Perfect. So, talk to us about the listing. Why is the title the way it is? Why is the images the way it is? Pricing, all you.
Okay, fantastic. So I will say we haven't done a whole lot of testing with respect to title and trying to. I feel like SEO is a point of that we really could use some love on. But I was leaning on our team that we originally hired. They basically said keyword stuff your title, which is basically what we tried to do in finding the relevant search terms from an exact standpoint, something like having organic in front of pancake and waffle mix instead of having organic at the end or in the beginning. So I mean, I don't necessarily love it. And what we've tried to do is really just keyword stuff has been it on the headline. With respect to images, so I've gone back and forth. We had just plated pancakes when we first launched, and that's nice, and it gets people hungry. But what I feel like here, we kind of went to more an infographic standpoint, where this is a unique product because it's not just a pancake. It's got the mushrooms and adaptogens. So we're upfront hitting people with, here's the things that this is going to do for you, and to get them to get the drip, then seeing the plated pancakes. So we lean out there with some infographics around the benefits of the ingredients, and we sprinkle in some high quality images, and we've put a couple of either a video that we created, which was a how-to recipe, and then there should be a UGC video on there as well. I don't know. I know we have one on the Prana Cakes listing. Yeah, that's just our recipe. So that I just made at home, and just kind of step by step, and just walking somebody through, getting them hungry and seeing how easy it is to make the pancakes.
Getting them hungry. You're a real CPG guy, man. Already know what you're doing.
and then we put some A+ content in there down below, which we worked with somebody through Fiverr to create. I think it came out really well. I think it's definitely on brand. And so whether or not people are, my question right now is, are people really scrolling down to A plus, especially in mobile. So I'm in this exploration of, do we test bringing A plus content up into the main images? And so here what we basically did was walk through benefits. We showed different use cases. So you can use this thing as a bread replacement, as a taco, as any kind of healthy alternative to bread. You know, put a couple of shots up there, you know, all those different things I make in my kitchen. We did a photo shoot on Maui when I was living out there, which is where I launched the brand. So we had a bunch of really cool, you know, good looking images of people with pancakes, and just trying to find that balance of information and, you know, activating senses.
You've activated my senses, that's for sure. I've never seen the word, and guys, I've never seen the word bread alternative before, and that's what really resonated with me. That's what I really liked. Okay.
So, thank you. I love that.
No, it's perfect, man. So first things first, what I will say is this. Look, I get into a lot of arguments about A+ content because me personally, I don't look at it, right? I only look at it if I need more information, right? So that might answer your question in terms of, okay, well, if this average Amazon guy is only looking at A+ content for more information, or if there's one little detail that I haven't been able to cram into my main 5 or 7 images, that's where that information is going to be. So it's a good point. Is this A+ content main image worthy? Right, that's pretty much what we're looking at. Is that correct?
That's what I'm considering. Yes.
Okay. So, Katie?
Yeah, I think those carousel images at the top are, you know, that's like such prime real estate. And, you know, I think you have so many great benefits listed out below in the A+. I would bring as much, you know, as many of those strong benefits up to the carousel. And you can still show those great plated images of the pancakes, but just have the benefits around them.
And I'll
hybrid up.
I'm so sorry. What I will do is I'll add to that. What I see in the A+ content is more fitting for the carousel. Would you? Because look, what we're showing is, like you said, look, we've got two trains of thought. We got 2 ideas here, right? The first idea is, as Brian mentioned, getting people hungry, right? And the second one is showcasing the benefits, right? So the real answer here is which one will actually play out to be more beneficial for us. Now, by not, Katie, you'll agree with us. Katie actually might not agree with this at all. Having all the information down at the A+ content might actually push the customer to try and get more information. You're making them work this way, whereas you're making it easier for them to see it here. So it's really kind of to be honest with you, it might actually be a hit or miss, but it's also depending on what sort of customer you're targeting as well. Katie, you want to add on?
Yeah, that's a really important point. I agree. Like, are you targeting the person who's looking for a pancake mix, you know, whether any kind of pancake mix? Are you targeting somebody who's really looking for health benefits? So I think defining that and then building the content around that, I think is really important, because I think in my experience on Amazon, there are a ton of obviously like mainstream shoppers, but there's a huge segment of people who are looking on Amazon specifically for the better for you, more functional products. So, and you know, that's, I would say probably the easiest way to stand out. So, but just, making sure that you're then focusing the content around that.
To that person. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I would also, I agree. Whom we're looking to speak to most is the latter persona, the person that you described, who is someone who is looking for that healthier alternative. Today I'm not sitting trying to convert somebody who is going onto Amazon to buy Krusties or Aunt Jemima's or, and Bisquick. I'd love to do that at some point in time, but this is those people who are keened in about their health, that care about what they put in their body and want to enjoy a pancake. And so tailoring, that's where bringing some of the information, I think A+ content up into the carousel, that makes a lot of sense. I love the idea of wrapping it around the pancake or waffle imagery. So I'm kind of doing, I'm getting double time there. And this hero image is a new thing I'm testing. So we were only using the front of the package. I recently photoshopped in this plated pancake and put that on the, so now that's on the SERP page. And that was like maybe a couple days ago we launched it. I haven't really been able to see how click-through rates have changed yet. But that was something that I was looking to test to see if that would entice more clicks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Our big challenge right now is, and so this is our hero product. We're not ranking organically, and I recognize it's only been a couple of months, but if you search for vegan pancake mix or organic pancake mix, gluten-free pancake mix, we're down on page 5, 6, or 8. And even buckwheat pancake mix, I actually think one of my products do rank on buckwheat pancake mix. So that's was one of the reasons why I just transitioned away from my Amazon agency that launched us. And that, I'm like, where is the listing not lining up congruently so that we can be showed more, higher with more results organically to support the paid efforts. We do get a lot of branded conversions. Like people are going to Amazon, like our organic revenues, I'd say probably on any given month, our organic revenue is like 65% of our total revenue. And so we're getting that and we're seeing the repeat buyers. But yet still, even with that, it's not from unbranded keywords, which I feel like is a massive opportunity for us.
Huge. We said, just to clarify, you said vegan, pancake, and gluten-free?
Yeah, try gluten-free.
So you were
our sponsored brand popped up top there.
Yeah, I saw it for yep, there we go. So there you go. That's good. I won't click on it so I don't charge you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm very careful of that. Let's see. And then you weren't here. You were in this one, I believe. Here we go. Yeah. So you're on the product, and there you go. Okay. Katie, what do you think?
You got to put those keywords in your title. I think so. I see, because it looks like you have organic pancake and waffle mix. But if pancake mix, I'm just doing a quick search. It looks like pancake mix generally has higher searches than waffle mix. So you might even want to just focus on that in the title. But yeah, you want to get those top keywords. You want to get at least like 2 of them, like exact, the exact word.
Exact matches. Yeah.
Precisely.
And sprinkled throughout your bullet points too.
And we'll you know what, here, Brian, what we'll do is we'll do a listing together too, just a basic one. Are you familiar with King Arthur?
Of course. Okay, yeah, so the original version of our product was modeled after the base of their mix. So yes.
Good. They're your mortal enemies. Simple Mills?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, Miss Jones?
No, don't know them.
That's fine. Bob's Red Mill. Anything you can
know.
Okay, Bob's Red Mill.
Bob's, Namaste, obviously Birch Benders.
Okay. And then
Arrowhead Mills down there on the bottom right.
There you go. Got you. Okay. And then Pamela's?
Yeah, Pamela's.
Okay, perfect. I think I can do one more. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to do a very, very quick Cerebro poll. And what this is going to show us, guys, is basically what is leading traffic to your 9 competitors here, Brian. So this is going to help out a ton. Your first one here, so you've already, what Cerebro does is it takes your listing, okay, and it's going to pull out literally maybe 10, 15 other sellers who are ranking for similar keywords that you're ranking now. And what it's going to do is it's going to do a reverse ASIN lookup. Now, what this reverse ASIN lookup is it's going to showcase to you what your potential customers are actually looking for. So once this Excel sheet comes up right off the bat, you see gluten-free pancakes, and then look, there are also misspelled terms of it as well, I think. Gluten-free with a dash, some without. Organic, gluten-free waffle milks, Namaste pancake mix. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this up and we'll talk about it. In the meantime, what this Excel sheet will do is it will help with, here, let me go ahead and make this big. Okay. And just for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to do this really quick. I'm just going to do 2 listings. Okay. You've got your keywords here. You got your bids here. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by Cerebro. I promise. This is just the only program I use to truly organically list a product. delete, and I'm only going to do 3 for now because we need, I don't want to run out of time. So what this is going to do for us is it's going to showcase, we're going to get all the keywords and then pull out the average keyword, that's average keyword ranking. What that means is, for example, if gluten-free is ranking #1 for you, or excuse me, if gluten-free is ranking very well for another company, then we're going to be able to take that data based on search volume and filter it out. So we can use it in our own listings. So, excuse me, let me go this way, that, and then put this in positioning. Perfect. So look, now what we're going to do is just clean this up, and I can definitely show you on another at any time whenever you want to see how this is done. Remove the duplicates. Yep. See, look, now you have 48,000 terms, 48,000 terms that are leading to that are leading your customers to you. Once this is done, you're going to get an idea of the amount of value that's missed out by not optimizing your listings properly. Because there's, oh boy, Katie can definitely talk about that too. Because look, the beauty of Amazon is it's trying to help customers out. It's trying to help customers find the best products that's relevant to them. But the only way to do that is by feeding the algorithm the right terms in order to, get your product into their homes, to say the least. Katie, what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm I'm trying to see the Excel.
I'm sorry. No, I know I'm working fast. One second.
Quick rapid fire over there. Put her on the spot.
I know.
This is kind of I think this is like the foundation of sort of where you build your listings is first, what are the top, I like to use, I don't know, 10 to 20 terms and really just, hone in on like maybe the top 5 and then secondarily, another 10, 15, and just make sure that the listing is full of those. And then also use that as a beginning foundation for bidding on ads.
Spot on. And what I'm doing here is I'm just putting in your bullet points to show you what, how relevant your listing is based on what your competitors are doing, just on 3 of them, right?
Yep.
So let's very quickly. And so the way this works is it shows it in colors. So let's apply to this. The more colorful it is, the better it is. And as you can see, this isn't very colorful. Now, what Cerebro does is it takes, what Scribbles does is it takes your major listings history, restore, there we go. It takes your listings and it takes what your competitors are using. And what it's able to do is literally visually show you how these listings are doing, right? So if I was to, and this is just me, if I was to optimize this listing, I would focus more on the long tail keywords here. For example, we have the words pancake mix, and then we have organic pancake mix. What I would actually do here is, since we have, gluten-free and buckwheat, I'd actually do this. Buckwheat, organic buckwheat, pancake and waffle mix by Living Prana. There we go. And then from here, what I would do is I would start to add in, actually I can do this. Brain cakes, pancake, and waffle mix by Living Prana. And then this is where I would start to add in extra search terms. Like, I don't know if we can use the word adaptogen and it would show up, probably not. But this is where you'll start adding in terms that you'll find in the phrases section, like superfoods, right? Superfood mix, superfoods, organic pancake and waffle mix, and then just start adding in the terms here. Another thing that I would do is customers are also looking to see how much is in here, how many waffles can come out of this, right? Are you able to share that? How many waffles you can make out of this just this one mix?
Out of that bag, you get, call it 15 to 20 pancakes and maybe 5 to 6 waffles. It depends on the size of the waffles, but just call it 20 pancakes.
20 pancakes. Okay. 20 pancakes. And then we'll do another one like this. And the way that I usually structure these is you got your main and I need more time to truly make this nice and clean, but you've got the long tail search terms, the terms that people are actually searching now that take them to the listing.
Yep.
Use that first. And then here you'll have like what's it called? The way I have it for activation for one of my clients now is, I'll show you. if we were to search marine phytoplankton or even just phytoplankton, this is, if I can type it correctly, excuse me, the way this is searched now is it's in the first listing. And so you've already got the main keyword, marine phytoplankton, the brand name, 1 month supply, and then all the extra keywords sitting at the end of it. So what happens when you do something like this is you're showcasing to the algorithm, okay, Mr. Algorithm, I have a marine phytoplankton product. This is what everyone is actually searching when I search the word phytoplankton. Please bring me to the top. And that's what we're doing through Scribbles, right? Scribbles is helping us, again, visualize the listings, visualize what keywords are being used. But here's the thing. This is only what Cerebro is pulling out. Now, here's the thing. If we were to pull up this chart here, we have several keyword categories that we need to hit. Adaptogen, superfoods, bake mix, and then bread replacement. We only pulled out what Cerebro's telling us. So what does it mean? What we now need to do, let me pull up my handy dandy iPad here, is we need to do polls for each individual one, bring all these Excel sheets together, and then make one quite literally super listing with all these keywords. I'm sorry, let me draw it this way. Like this, right?
Yep.
The best way to do it, right? Look, Scribbles can only give you up to 1,000 results. So what I would do instead is I would use the program to literally just get the top, I don't know where it went. 1 second. Was this it? Yeah. I would only get the ones based off of positioning, A to Z, right? I know this is a lot. I'm just trying to speed run through this to give you an idea. Like these are ways to fix listings. These are, marine phytoplankton has been Amazon's choice for the last like 2-3 months now. We're ranking for 500 orders in last month. So this is doing very well, simply because we're optimizing the listing based on different categories, right? So I'd be more than happy to message you later and show you like how this is done to help things out, and do it for anyone else here. But this is how I would do it. It's not just a matter of getting a listing and then hoping for the best, or just doing some basic optimization. This isn't sponsored, is it? No. But also looking at what other competitions, what other categories are doing, taking those keywords and implementing them into, again, a super listing. I know it's what do you think?
This is an amazing thing, and I'm an Excel guy. I'm a data geek, so I was flying by with you the whole time. So thank you.
No, I'll send you the Excel sheet too, just for reference. You're gonna love that.
Yeah. Thank you,
dude. Anytime.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I guess one last thing before we flip the mic is, and this kind of came up in the last conversation, but I'm in this debate or exploration around single listing versus multiple listing. And then, right now I've got brain cakes and prana cakes merged single in 3 packs. I just uncoupled my base cakes because of what I referenced before about losing money on the PPC side with my lower price product. So, I mean, any thoughts or perspective around wrapping everything into one ASIN versus as I have it set up right now, which is, independent?
Katie, you go first, because I'm going to rip you to shreds now, Brian. Get ready.
Let's go.
So,
Go on.
I mean, so I personally, and curious your thoughts on this. I personally don't love sort of stuffing every variation into one listing. I like to kind of optimize for the user experience. So what's going to make the most sense to the customer, but also trying to sort of have having kind of as many variations as makes sense together, because there is that benefit of sharing the reviews across them. And just helping customers find things easier. So I mean, I think it makes sense to have, and sorry, you said that there was a 1 pack that's now a separate listing.
Yeah, so if you see what's on the screen right now, my 3 products from left to right, base cakes in the brown bag is my lowest price product, $9.99. And I was running PPC on a merged ASIN with a 3-pack and single. And what I saw was a lot of new customers were opting to buy the 1 pack instead of 3. And so I was losing money on that sale, and I just decided to uncouple it. And so right now the base cakes, that product is 2 separate listings. And then my brain cakes and prana cakes are 1 merged listing each for a single pack and a 3.
What about just not even listing the 1 pack? Don't even give them the option. Yeah, I've seen that work really well. You know, where it just economically the one pack just doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's good, I think, for products where it's not moving very well as a multi-pack. And sometimes it's nice to have that option, because sometimes it will pull people in and then they'll end up buying the bigger pack because it's a better value. But if it really just economically doesn't make sense and you're getting too many people buying it, maybe just try not having it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a great point.
Absolutely, Katie, I agree word for word. Now, my turn. So here's the thing. When we're selling on Amazon, right, the main goal here is to get more customers, find more people who are interested in our products. Now, the thing about variations is someone used the word stuffing. I don't remember, Brian, I don't remember if it was you or if it was Katie.
That was
wonderful. When you stuff variations into a listing, you're quite literally stuffing it from potential customers. Now, but if you look here on the right, what I've done is just a little diagram for another seller who's looking to sell off their inventory on Amazon. No problem. Their situation is very unique because they have not just different sizes but different flavors. Okay, they work with co-packers, like actual coffee companies. And so what we've done for them is, or what I've done for them is, I've showcased to them, like, okay, here's the way we can position absolutely everything. Okay, you have your main partners, you got your flavors, listing one here, and I'll clarify that too in a second. Let me just pull up my iPad. Okay, so this one here, this is one listing and this is another. Okay, listing, I'm just going to write list one. My handwriting sucks because I type a lot. Listing one and then listing two. So right off the bat, you have one listing, two listings turns into 6 based on the variance. Right now, you have you've done one listing here, and then if you were to create a variation of 3 or even 2, that one listing now turns into three different products or 3 different ACEs that a customer can buy, right? Which is okay. Now, when it comes to creating everything all together by making one super ASIN or one super listing, if you will, that's going to limit a lot of exposure. Let me explain. When you are putting listings together, even for variants, even for like packs of 3, packs of 5, you're hiding them, right? You're keeping it organized, but people aren't seeing that immediately unless they're searching the terms pack of, or based on a specific flavor, or based on what your PPC is. So in my opinion, what I would actually do is I would just spread it as wide as you possibly can, right? Because you know, at the moment you're looking to expand, you're looking to take up as much space as possible, either using PPC or using organic. You can use variations to your advantage. You can do just one listing of just base cakes, and then do another variation where you can just change the you can put an ASIN code instead of the same UPC code and make that a brand new listing as well. And you can do this with variations like the base cake, brand cakes, and product cakes all together. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, I'm following you.
Okay, so one other thing as well is being able to, I don't know if do you have a listing where it's just all the variations together, or no?
No.
Right, is this you?
That's me on the right.
Handsome gentleman, great to see you. Gotcha. Wonderful. Let's go.
I do have virtual bundles that have the prana and brain cakes together, and then a virtual bundle of all 3, but I don't have a physical listing.
Got you. Yeah. See, for example, 12 ounces and pack of 3. Katie, what would you recommend? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I really like to test variations. So, you know, I've done this with, I did this with it was a 1-pack and 2-pack of toothpaste recently. And the brand just had a 2-pack for sale because, just economics, wasn't really selling. I added a 1-pack, and then it really just like took off. I mean, there were other optimizations too, but the 1-pack price point really got people. The margins were similar, so it wasn't quite, you know, the same issue that you have, Brian, but that really showed that, you know, kind of what customers are gravitating towards and what price point. they will go for. And then I tested, okay, well, what if we just take away the 2-pack and, only offer the 1-pack, don't even give them the choice. And sales actually dropped off then, which was interesting. We were, by having the 2 options, some people were, a good chunk of people were choosing to buy that higher quantity, enough so that made up almost half the revenue. And that revenue actually just went away when we got rid of the 2-pack. But it's gonna perform differently for every company, every product. So I really recommend testing. And it's not that hard to test, and also like splitting them apart versus having them grouped together. I think just testing is the way to go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Just one more thing that I have to bring up. The listing image. If we look at this one here, if I was to mimic the way this looks, your packaging is way back here, and you've got all this empty space besides the bowl, right? Bringing the product a bit closer. I'm going to go down a bit. Bringing the product a little bit closer down this way, and at least you can even adjust the coloring of the product of the product to make the words a little bit more visible. This could help. Okay, not just adding in pancakes, not just adding in images of the pancakes here, but adding in the ingredients could also be of assistance, right? You've got, look, you got the full package here, right? This is going to make my brain grow, and adding that here alongside, I think we talked about this briefly, but adding that like little images of the ingredients of the mushrooms here, either, and this is just an idea. 1 second, either putting the images like that and then pointing at it towards the pancake instead of making it so far away and just showcasing it. Because look, everyone can buy pancake mix. I can go to ShopRite and right now leave this conversation, go pick up pancake mix and come back and I'll be set. But I know for a fact that ShopRite isn't going to have adaption superfood pancake mix here. So that's another way of diverting and changing the way we look from other people, right? I'm so happy we're having this conversation because I've been having trouble trying to figure out how to sell superfood mix, because look, you're not just a pancake or waffle mix guy, right? You are also selling, you're also competing with Huel. You're competing with, let me charge my laptop for I just disappear out of the blue. Sorry about that. Yeah, because that's happened to me before. Was that 2%? You're also competing with, look, Huel is here. Huel is one of the biggest companies out there. You're competing with Bloom. You're competing with all these ones, right? How do we fix that problem? Do we add in more colors? Do we add in do we listen to Stephen Pope and we pay him $4,000 a month just to have him add in pictures of broccoli or of what's it called, the mushrooms, whatever it is you want to call it, right? The goal here is to stick out, because when I look up superfood mix, it's only powders. It's only powders that you put in a cup, right? And again, this goes back to this previous topic here of finding the different keywords and categories and attacking them differently, right? There's a different look. The person who's searching the word superfood mix is different from the person who's searching superfood pancakes, right?
Of course.
89 results. And the first thing you see is someone selling a keto version of this, right? I don't know if it's something I need, but it brings me damn closer to buying it simply because the keywords are there. Baking flour. Right. Look, here you are. There you are. You got buttermilk. There we are. Kodiak cakes. Kodiak is they got acquired for almost $1 billion, right? And this is the most simple product there is out there. Energy cakes. Brain, like you said, brain cakes is probably one of the best terms I've heard, right? But show it to the customer. Show it to the customer. Show them exactly what it is they're buying. Because Ryan, brother, you got competition.
I know.
Competition, man. This is wild. Josh, Josh, what do you think? Has this been helpful?
I'm taking it all in. I'm just so for the longest time I've just been so focused on just increasing our production to sort of get to like the base level of quantity that we need, and our process freeze drying so difficult. So I'm learning. I really don't know that much about what you guys are talking about in terms of marketing and keywords. That's kind of why I wanted to tune in and get some get some more knowledge, and I apologize. I'm
No. I
in the
didn't mean
midst of production, so I'm just wrapping it up. So I'm like, yeah, just I'm trying to pay attention. I got my headphone, my earpiece on, and listening, but so just trying to take some stuff in.
No, that's perfectly fine. I didn't mean to pick on you like that, man. No, I just wanted to, check in, make sure.
We've got the war room out here.
Yeah.
So you and I are going through a similar thing, right? And this, you mentioned this before too, even when we were talking, earlier about Mo, is because my brand, my products are innovative, where we're bringing together the food aisle and the supplement aisle, and it's like, how do we find the way through Amazon to target in the right way, and with one foot in both of those aisles, and that, like, I looked at our key, our search term reports, and I'm getting very little visibility when whether it's functional mushrooms or the adaptogenic herbs, something like ashwagandha, which is in my prana cakes, has been a rampant search term for a couple of years. It's like the hottest adaptogen out there, and yet I'm not seeing, like, I haven't found I shouldn't lean on my team, but the team I was working with, I kept giving them these terms. I'm like, we've got to find a way to work this in, and yet, nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Ashwagandha pancakes doesn't give you ashwagandha pancakes here. It just gives you supplements. How do you tap into that? How do you tap into this category? Because listen, man, I took ashwagandha I took ashwagandha before it became pop. Remember those memes you see of those like 19-year-old boys who say ashwagandha stops making you feel emotions, right? I was ashwagandha way before then, right? I knew of the benefits that it had, and now look, and I was at Food Hack on Tuesday. It was extra credit for FIT students, but they were talking about the line between human innovation and human integration and where you draw it. And then someone, I won't mention who it is because I was disgusted, but he makes protein cookies, and the guy's talking about cricket protein, right? So what I'm saying is, you got ashwagandha, an actual supplement or an oil, right? People are taking, and you can see it obviously here. And then there's the notion of putting that literally putting it into pancakes, into actual foods, into where do we draw that line? And on top of it, how do we make it profitable? How do we find customers? How do we find customers who may be interested in our product? This isn't just Meta ads, by the way. This isn't just Amazon ads. This is also positioning the product in a way with very simple tweaking, either putting a picture of, I don't know, a plant or a cordyceps or lion's mane next to your packaging that can make all the difference. Also targeting the right keywords and right keywords and categories, writing the right sponsored displays. These are all very little factors. In fact, look at this. Ashwagandha pancakes. If you look at the department, immediately, it's a mixture of both. It
is. Yep.
I don't have to sneeze anymore. Sorry. The pancake and waffle mix is right next to his blended vitamin and mineral supplements. So, best of luck, Brian. But what I'm saying is, this is very difficult, right? I'm not saying that this is not something that can't be fixed, but I'm glad we did this roast because, what we realize out of all this is you don't just have a variation problem, you have more of a category problem, and that's widespread. Doesn't mean that we can definitely jump in and talk about that more. It's just how much it also depends on your budget. I think Katie can weigh in on this as well. The budgeting aspect of look, when a manufacturing company is trying to get their product into a new market, right? There's involved. There's trying out this different retailer or this different retailer and giving it some time, right? It also depends on if you want to go too. Have you tried anything regarding sponsored ads? Have you tried anything PPC related, or has it just been organic?
For us, we're definitely running paid. The paid, so my spend has been more towards pat campaigns. We run auto. We run some exact and manual as well for specific targeted keywords on the pancake side of this, consideration. I haven't seen, I think we've got them set up for the mushrooms and the herbs and the adaptogens, and yet I don't know if we haven't gotten the looks or we haven't gotten the clicks.
You want to find out?
For sure.
Let's do it. Okay. That wasn't a sponsor one. Don't worry. I was careful.
I'm watching you.
No, don't worry. All right, let's take a look. Let's get keywords just for, we're just doing this for your listing, okay? No competition here. Export data, Excel sheets. Don't you worry, I'm very careful about that. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this up here very quickly. And then bring you up. And I'm going to close this so I don't get confused. I already sent you that, Brian. That's all yours.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so did I just click on the wrong one? No, I didn't. I'm sorry. Let me get the right listing. Get keywords for this one. Run new search. Did I do that correctly? No, I didn't. I'm so sorry. I was getting Beekman 1802. Excuse me. Okay. So again, we're doing reverse ASINs. We're going to and look, this one's working a lot harder, so that's a good sign. Export data, Excel sheets. So the people who are going to your listing, my friend, you got, and we'll do this based off of, we'll do it based on your bidding. Okay, in fact, let's do A to Z. Okay, wonderful. So, oh, let's see. I'm just reviewing this very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all excess. We don't have data there. Okay, so let me clean this up. Okay, sponsored. So what this is telling me here is what your organic is and what your sponsored is. So what I'll do is this, I'll do Z to A. And then, okay, great. So from what I see here, from the sponsor, you see how all these are one. One means yes, zero means no. This is the search volume that you're looking at based off of the terms. Okay. So you're looking at 400 about, is this correct? Do you know for sure 494 terms is what you're targeting now?
That sounds about right.
Okay, great. So here's the thing. If we look at the organic ranking of these terms and then the relevancy of it. Okay, that's fine. So look, you have, let's talk about only the first page, and that's this 30 here.
Yep.
From here, vegan pancake mix and up, Kodiak gluten-free pancake, all these terms here is what's getting you on the first page. Okay.
Okay.
3 out very quickly. And then living. There you go. Yep, that works. Okay. So what's happening here is these are still very, very low search volume terms. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is even though the terms are, quote unquote relevant, they're not, there is no indication that people are going to be purchasing it. It's just what you're advertising on. So let me see. Yeah, these are way. Katie, you want to weigh in?
Yeah, I mean,
can you see the search terms too?
Yep,
it looks like you might know this a little better than I do. The terms from what I see here, you see how they're okay. Here's what you're doing.
It looks like they're all a lot of them are variations on pancake mix.
Right.
With a so yeah, I mean it looks like, yeah, I mean, if I guess it depends like what your starting point was. If you're kind of taking pancake mix and then branching off of there, versus, finding these other terms like buckwheat pancakes that are super relevant to your product and have maybe a decent search volume, but you're not specifically targeting those.
Which is okay, right? We're not roasting you on that right now. It's just what's happening here is, oh, okay. Here's what's happening. See, there you are. Okay, so here's what's happening. Here's why you're not getting the exposure you think you should be getting. You're only focusing on your competition. You're not focusing on what customers are actually searching. Because look, People who are searching brand names, I read this one report about it about a month ago, 2 months ago. I don't remember where it's from, or else I'd quote it. It's about 5 to 10% of people who are buying something is actually putting in a brand name, and that's the brand name that they're searching for. What that means is this. If I'm looking for Living Prana, okay, and I'm trying to if I'm trying to buy Namaste, okay, and your product comes up, the problem is this: I'm still looking for Namaste. I'm not just looking for your product. It's only a chance of me reviewing it because I've already made the decision based on my query that that's the product that I want. If I want to go buy APEs, if I want to buy this, right, and I search activation products ease, and then you see that and you say, okay, well, my product's better, I'm going to take that keyword and shove it in the face of my customers. It's actually wasted ad spend. Let me explain.
I love that.
And I'll explain why. When it's wasted ads, when you're targeting another competitor, this shouldn't be for sales. It shouldn't be such a high amount, right? Let me pull it up again. Hold on. It shouldn't be $1.62 suggested. This should be 50 cents. This should be 30 cents. Because when you're focusing on your competition, you want to make as many search terms as possible using that brand name, as well as variations of what is being searched. Like, for example, you have Namaste pancake mix gluten-free, change it up. Namaste gluten-free pancake mix, and then change it up again. Namaste gluten pancake-free mix. What you're doing now is you're training the algorithm and saying, Mr. Algorithm, these words altogether, even though they are not completely relevant to my listing, I want to pay 20 cents per click on this because there is a small chance that the person who is searching this doesn't really know what they're looking for. Right. So what that means is say, for example, we start to we want to focus on adaptogen related keywords. What we're doing is we're now focusing on words like cordyceps pancakes or ashwagandha pancakes. And by doing this, we're increasing the amount of exposure. Think of it this way. Let me draw a picture because I love drawing pictures. 1 second. Which one catches more fish? That's a spear. And then this is a net. Which one, right off the bat, very simple question. Which one here catches more fish? A single spear or a net?
Your net.
Obviously, because the net is spread out more, whereas the spear, it's a one-time shot, right? I use this analogy all the time, right? I didn't mean to ask that question. It wasn't just rhetorical. I just wanted to make sure, like, this is pretty much the point. Amazon is quite literally a jungle. There is so much out there that either you need to kill it, or you need to kill something with just one shot, or you're going to catch the stragglers, right? You're going to catch the small fish, if that makes sense. So this is what we use for marine phytoplankton, right? This is what we use for activation. If I search activation products right now, all their main products, including 2 competitors who are now starting to get on top of us, they're not winning because people who are searching activation products, based on the reports I saw early this morning, people are going directly to us. In fact, I don't even need activation products for the system because of how well it's doing. For ease of selection, these are 2 different issues. Like we don't have time to go into that. But what I'm saying is focus more on actual keywords that's not brand related, because the people who are searching brands are going to those brands.
Yep.
We've got 6 minutes left, and I hope that helped. And Brian,
this is amazing.
No, Brian, I hope I truly, I really hope this did help. I hope it shed some light into the way the listing is positioned, and I think this was more than enough time. Before we have to go, because I have a hard stop in 6 minutes, how's everyone feeling? Any questions, any concerns? I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can slowly start to wrap up. How's everyone doing? Can you guys hear me? Chance,
they might have needed some brain cakes while we were going through that roast.
I know it's a lot. I really do hope it helped. Chance, how did you feel?
Yeah.
Super informative. Like drinking from a fire hose, though.
Thank you.
A lot of stuff to learn.
Wonderful. No, I'm very happy that we got to do this. And would you guys be interested? And I know we start off with like 14, now we're at 6, but I know, because this does take a while. Would you guys be open to doing this every Friday? What do you guys think? Maybe for about 2 hours. I wanted to do 2 hours, not because I like to talk, but it just gives me enough time to go through a listing, you know, a bit more in depth. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think that sounds great. I think, yeah, it's really tough to do an hour session, and so because you go down rabbit holes. So no, this is really great. And thank you for letting me kind of share and jump in here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Frank, you there? That's okay. All right. Well, I'll end up the chat now, or I'll end this conversation now. Look, Brian, Katie, I'm gonna message you in a second. Chance, Alex, listen, I appreciate you guys really listening. If you guys can put in a good word for me with Shin, our community manager, say like, hey, this was great. I'd greatly appreciate that. Just to
happy to.
let him know, like, hey, look, Dohan's a killer. He knows what he's talking about. He's not a moron, right? And hopefully we can do this more often. So awesome. I'm wishing you guys a happy Friday night. I'm going to jump into my next meeting now, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. All right. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Be good.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.